Hello and welcome to the Marine Conservation Happy Hour YouTube special. I am your host, Dr. Scarlett Smash. There's Dr. Craken. Hi, Dr. Craken. Where is your pirate gear?
Oh, here it is.
There we go. Much better. Not even allowed to talk to me until you have your pirate gear. Well, Dr. Craken, it's almost Halloween. We love October. Everything Halloweeny. I'm all about all the Netflix zombie movies, scary movies. I've got all the music going on. I've got everything going on. But you know what we're going to talk about? Scary creatures for Halloween. And what is more better than a zombie creature? So scientists have discovered a new worm, Dr. Kraken. It's a new zombie worm.
Now, I guess we should explain what a zombie worm is. So zombie worms are these worms that they have discovered that feed on big dead carcasses that are on the bottom of the ocean. So they started looking at whale carcasses that were on the ocean bottom and found that they were being colonized by these worms that were basically decomposing them. And now they found a new species of zombie worm that feeds on alligators.
Why alligators?
Well, the study was done by a group at LUMCOM, so Louisiana Consortium of Universities for Marine Science. And they, Louisiana alligators, they had the idea about, well, what happens when these animals are sort of washed out to sea? Okay. Or, they get shot out of the Mississippi. Do they just sort of sit there or out on the ocean bottom, or are there things which specialize in feeding on them? So Craig McLean and his group managed to get 3 alligator carcasses, and they've been doing studies looking at decomposition of whale carcasses and wood that gets washed out, and now alligators. So this big project was funded by the National Science Foundation. They sent down ROVs and submersibles to look at these wood piles or these carcasses. So they had these 3 alligators and found that there was a completely new species of zombie worm that was feeding on these alligators. So that's a big discovery.
Yeah, that's really
They also found that very quickly, these carcasses, great big isopods, which are pill bugs, wood lice, roly-polies. Imagine like a roly-poly, the size
They're huge. They're scary.
Yeah,
they're scary.
Like the size of a West Highland Terrier. So they were sort of crawling over these carcasses. But one of the carcasses, rather mysteriously, all they found was like the harness it was attached to that had been bitten off. So something big and huge had just gone swipe and taken the whole carcass. So they don't know what had done that. Maybe it was a big deep sea shark. Maybe it was Cthulhu. Maybe it was the Kraken. Who knows? But they were monitoring this, and they were basically found that there are these species that do specialize in feeding on alligators. And you imagine going back into the past history, alligators would have been really, really common around the coast of Louisiana, around the coast of Florida, and of course would have ended up getting into the marine environment.
Right.
So of course, there's
like what happens to them? That is so interesting. And when we're looking at these zombie worms, how they're just kind of attached to the bone made me think of in Ariel, the Disney movie Ariel or Little Mermaid. Ariel's villain, Ursula, had a garden of all her victims, and they were like shriveled up, and it literally, that was the first thing I thought was, it's Ursula's garden of victims. That's what these worms look like.
Craig described the carcasses as looking like a 1970s shag rug carpet. You know, like if you go to Graceland and you
Yes.
see Elvis's carpet, which are also on the walls in the
Yes,
jungle room.
that's another great description. I love it.
Yes, like
that
Elvis's
way.
carpet.
So excellent. Well, thank you, Dr. Craken, for joining me. For everyone that is listening, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe. Please like us. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of it. And we appreciate you joining us for this video. And we hope that it was very informative, and happy conservation.